Jennifer Tran, the Executive Director of Oakland Vietnamese Chamber of Commerce.
Happy New Breath, everyone. My name is Eddie Zhang. I'm the co-founder of the New Breath Foundation.
Yes, and before we start today, we just want to recognize that the land that we stand on belongs to the indigenous Ohlone people.
And we're going to have an opening prayer on video with the indigenous grounding prayer. And Karina Gold, who is the chair and spokesperson for the Confederate village of Lisjan. She was born and raised in Oakland, California, the village of Huchin, a mother of 3 and a grandmother of 4. Karina is the co-founder and lead organizers for the Scoria Land Trust and Indian People Organizing for Change. So can we cue the video, please?
Good afternoon, relatives. Horshetuhi ka'atlashanka ka'atra'akrina. I want to thank the APEN for inviting me to open up and to offer a prayer and acknowledge the pain that your communities have been going through. I want to wish you a happy new year as well, and just offer a prayer for our ancestors to come together. My ancestors have been here since the beginning of time, and realize that your ancestors came here in many different ways across the continental U.S. through and had a difficult time when folks came to California. But I want to also acknowledge that this time that the community has been facing today, and in solidarity, the Confederated Villages of Lisjan stand with you. And I just want to offer a prayer. Grandmothers and grandfathers, creator and ancestors, we thank you for this day and for this gathering. We ask that all of our ancestors come together for healing purposes, to continue to hold us up from above and below, the sides of us, in front of us, back of us, and above us. We ask that you help us to find compassion with each other, to find healing in the work that we're doing, that our communities come together and are resilient and continue to be strong as our ancestors have for many, many thousands of generations. We thank you, grandmothers and grandfathers, for this gathering of people with good hearts and good minds, and that we come up with solutions together to live in our territories, a place that we have called Huchin since the beginning of time, that we find ways for working together across all boundaries, all lines. We thank you so much for this good day. We ask that we continue to do our good works together. Oh.
嚟參加呢個會議，我哋每一次我哋開一個會議啊，或者大家集會一齊，我哋都尊重我哋嘅印第安人，因為呢度係佢哋嘅土地，我哋能夠生活喺佢哋嘅土地度，我哋應該明白呢個歷史同埋明白佢哋為我哋所犧牲嘅，為我哋所提供嘅所以土地上面所提供我哋需要生存嘅全部啲動物啊、食物啊，呢度我哋要明白到我哋喺邊度嚟嘅，我哋喺咩地方，所以好多謝大家能夠明白呢一點。
Kính chào tất cả mọi người. Trước tiên mình muốn ghi nhận là cái chỗ mình đang đứng bây giờ là của người bản xứ da đỏ Ohlone, và bà Lisjan Ohlone mới nói chuyện với mình để cho đứng chung với mình để cho lên án cái việc mà đang ảnh hưởng cộng đồng mình bây giờ. Thì bà nói rằng dù cho bà không có đây hôm nay, bà đang đứng đây để cho ủng hộ tất cả cộng đồng của mình để cho mình có thể bảo vệ nhau. Cảm ơn.
During today's event, we're going to be translating some of the speakers' words in Cantonese as well as in Vietnamese, but we will not be able to translate verbatim, so please bear with us. We want to capture the crux of the messaging.
So Eddie and I wanted to start this conversation off, this event today, with just why we are here, what brings us here, and why is it that we are, facilitating today. So Eddie, can you start us off?
Yeah, so before we start, I know we're still in a pandemic, and then I just want to make sure when we say that we keep us safe, that means please put your mask on. If we can, respect other people's space. I make sure that also when we are able to start listening to some of the messages, it may be triggering in some ways for you. Some feelings may come up for you, and that is okay. If you feel sad, angry, or feel joy sometimes, that is okay. And if you need any type of support, please check with your neighbor or check with your friends that you came with, and just let them know that you need some time. You need to take a deep breath, right? And it's okay. And so,
anh Eddie đây mới nói rằng nếu mà mình nói là mình là những người mà bảo vệ nhau thì mình nên trước tiên á là đứng giữ khoảng cách. So I was just telling in Vietnamese that the first step to keeping us safe is maintaining social distance right now. So if you can create some room, đứng xa 6 feet. Yes, okay. It's just, I mean, it's really difficult, but please just try to. Và have you already said? Okay. Và trước tiên hôm nay á, có nhiều cái câu chuyện mà mọi người sẽ chia sẻ, có thể làm mình phản ứng một cách nào. Thì mong rằng trong cái thời gian đó mình có thể đứng bên nói chuyện với người nào để cho mình không có giữ trong lòng. Và mong rằng hôm nay tất cả mọi người nói chuyện á, là đều tôn trọng nhau và nhớ rằng mình đang đứng đây để cho cùng nhau yêu thương lẫn nhau và giúp đỡ nhau. Okay, so I was just asking Eddie what it is that brought Eddie here and then myself so that we can kick this off.
Well, first of all, I just want to say Happy Black History Month. Happy Lunar New Year.
Chúc mừng năm mới.
And happy pre-Valentine's Day. So it's all love here, right? It's all love. So, you know, I came to Oakland, California at the age of 12, and I actually lived on 7th and Madison in the apartments there. And it was 7 of us living in a 2-bedroom apartment because my grandfather wanted to bring us, my family here, to have a better career opportunity and educational opportunity. But yet I was not able to take advantage of their sacrifice for me, and I did not appreciate the freedom that I had. I committed a crime, a kidnap, to commit robbery, and scar a family of 4 for life. I ended up spending 21 years of my life inside the prison system, and I know people judge me all the time for what I have done and the pain that I inflicted on other people. But yet, people never gave up on me. People in the community still show me love because they believe in the power of transformation. Because people believe that prison is not the only solution for public safety. So when I was able to receive that love and encouragement and inspiration, I was able to really take responsibility for my action, be accountable. And then I was able to make the change I need to become a better person. So when I came out, I was well read. I understood that we had to tap into our chi. And so the chi that I'm talking about is culture, history, and identity. That we are able to learn from each other. So therefore, we're able to humanize each other. Yet when we witness all the pain and suffering that is inflicting on our elders, our women, our youth, in our community, it's the same pain that I inflicted on others. So how do we heal from that? And that's why I'm here. I'm here so we can find solutions to keep us safe. So I'm here to be able to build relationships and cultivate relationships with everybody who are here and people who are watching online, locally and internationally. That's why I'm here. Dr. Chen?
Thank you. I'm going to translate. Yes, please give him a round of applause. That's right. Thank you for sharing that story. Anh Eddie hôm nay á, là từ Oakland, khi gia đình anh mới mua tới, anh ở gần trường học bên đây nè. Và sau đó anh không có ráng học, ráng làm, và rốt cuộc á, là làm phạm tội. Và từ cái đó ảnh trong nhà tù cho 22 năm. Nhưng mà vì cái tình thương, vì cái sự đóng góp và cái sự ủng hộ của tất cả cộng đồng của mình, từ đó ảnh mới vượt qua, từ đó ảnh mới tiến lên và thành lãnh đạo như hôm nay. Thì hôm nay á, anh nói rằng á, là mình phải dùng cái sức mạnh của cái tình thương của cộng đồng để cho mình đứng chung với nhau và lên án cái chuyện mà đang ảnh hưởng cộng đồng của mình. Và đừng có dùng cái này cái lý do để cho lấy cái sự kỳ thị á, mà kỳ thị những người khác. So xin cho một tràng pháo tay cho anh Eddie. All right.
You want to share, Jan, why are you here?
Well, you know, we don't have much time, but I'll just share that, you know, I'm an Oakland native. I'm born and raised here. Family lives on 9th and Foothill, East 21st. And, you know, when I hear your story, it just makes me think that we live very complex lives, right? And every one of my family has a story about being a victim to the issues that we're talking about today. And at the same time, all of my friends also have stories about being subjected to racial violence as black and brown people, black and brown men. And so that brought me here today to think, you know, the point for us is to not compare our stories of oppression, but rather come together to think about our shared ideas and dreams and aspirations for our future. And so that's why I'm here with Eddie today, so that we can bring in all of our wonderful speakers today, all of our community leaders, and specifically center and validate the pain that our communities are experiencing, not overlooking them, so that we can have strong foundation to move forward. Would you agree, Eddie?
Yes, definitely. I just want to translate that in Cantonese very quickly. 新年快樂，身體健康，大家恭喜發財嚇！我哋喺呢度集中喺一齊，係因為我哋明白到唔單止當我哋嘅社區受到傷害同埋創傷，我哋嘅老人、我哋啲婦女、我哋啲青少年受到創傷，唔係淨係我哋能夠淨係我哋種族去感受到呢個創傷，因為有好多其他種族亦同樣受到咁嘅創傷，所以我哋要揾辦法點樣去治愈我哋嘅創傷，因為團結先至係力量。但係我哋亦都好明確嘅了解到，當我哋啲長者係俾人打劫、俾人哋打傷、俾人哋殺死，呢個係不能夠接受嘅。我哋一定要企起嚟，為佢哋伸張正義。我哋一定要為佢哋爭取適當嘅資源，幫助佢哋康復同埋治愈。另外一個事，我哋最重要嘅係點樣互相團結，去揾辦法為社區安全去出一份力。呢個係好重要嘅。但係我哋唔能夠用其他人或其他力量嚟分瓦我哋嘅種族，因為當我哋嘅種族被分瓦嗰時，我哋就會自相殘殺。咁樣對我哋大家社區對呢個世界都唔好。所以我哋今日喺度一齊團結喺度發表我哋嘅心聲。
Thank you, thank you. So, just briefly today, just want to highlight the reason why we're here again, right? Is to validate our pain. That when one member of our communities, when one fraction of our communities feel pain, we all feel pain, right? And that we're also here to discuss that it's through healing, coming together, that we're going to have solutions. And we have leaders today who are modeling the best practices of what comprehensive community safety could look like. And I'm going to translate quickly in Vietnamese, right, for those who are watching online right now. Mục đích của buổi họp báo ngày hôm nay là lên tiếng và kêu gọi tất cả mọi người để đứng chung với nhau và lên án chống lại sự bạo lực nhắm vào cộng đồng người Mỹ gốc Á Châu. Trong đó có người Việt Nam chúng ta. Chúng ta cùng muốn xác nhận và thông cảm cho sự tổn thương mà điều này đã tạo cho chúng ta. Chương trình hôm nay sẽ có thêm lời nói của những người lãnh đạo trong làm việc với thành phố để cho tìm giải pháp để bảo vệ nhau.
Thank you, Jen. I just want to share with folks that your love and your outpouring support right now and online on social media is very important. But the support that we're looking for is not about dividing our community. The support and love is for all of us that who are suffering under white supremacy and the structural racism. That's the love that we need. That's the understanding that we need. So we can all triumph. So we can all have public safety, personal safety. Because we're all in this together. So we want to make sure that people understand that around us, there's some chance that there are arts, that you want to participate in some art creation, there's chance there. If you want to make a statement about how you feel, Courage, who is a youth organization out there, community restorative justice organization has a tent over there. You can do a video statement, and then if you feel that, you just need to talk to someone. There's time for you to just connect with people you may not know, or somebody you have been friends for a long time. Just be vulnerable, be courageous. That's the love that we want to see.
All right. Thank you. So with that, let's kick us off again with what we started off, and then we're going to introduce our speakers. When we say we keep, you say us safe. We keep
us safe.
We keep
us safe.
When we say we keep, you say us safe.
Us safe.
We keep
us safe.
We keep
us safe.
We keep
us safe.
Thank you. And at this point, we want to welcome Anna Chu, the Associate Director of East Bay Asian Local Development Corps, Ibalsi. Đây là giám đốc Inner Chu từ Trung tâm Phát triển Đô thị. You want to translate? Just introduce him?
Go ahead, Anna. Just go ahead.
Okay.
Good afternoon, everybody. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I am so, grateful and overwhelmed to be with you here today. My name is Enner Chu, and I'm with the East Bay Asian Local Development Corporation, or ABALDC. We are an organization, a community development and affordable housing organization that builds healthy neighborhoods all across Oakland, but especially here in Chinatown, which is our historic home where we were founded 46 years ago. We know that community safety is fundamentally about two things. First, it's about the individual and collective relationships we have with each other in the spaces that we share. And second, it's about our trust in the institutions that hold our lives. Unfortunately, both of those things right now, in this moment, they're really breaking down. We live in an extraordinarily diverse city, but we're isolated from one another by language, by poverty, by a lack of opportunity and imagination, and by fear and by desperation. And we feel like our institutions at times aren't helping. A couple of weeks ago, I learned that one of our volunteer board members at ABALDC was mugged here in Chinatown. I had an opportunity to talk with her about her experience and how frustrating it was, because she was able to give the police a very specific and detailed description of the assailants and the car that they were driving. And unfortunately, it seems like the investigation and the communication and closure with victims doesn't happen as smoothly as it should. And we know that it happens even less often when victims don't speak English. The police told her that 2 arrests had been made and they got the suspects that assaulted her. But just 2 days later, within 2 blocks of where she was attacked, she found out that 2 other assaults had occurred with matching MOs and the matching cars. So if the police had picked up somebody, they probably picked up the wrong people. Racial profiling is lazy. It doesn't bring individuals to account. It escalates the tension that makes violence against people and property more likely, and it makes all of us less safe. That's why it's important for us to support community safety initiatives that are responsive to our needs. that happen in languages that we speak and in ways that are culturally competent. Crime does happen, and when it does, we need to be specific and precise about identifying who is responsible and determining how they can make restitutions to the individuals and communities that they've harmed. But scapegoating groups, using blanket statements, racial profiling, those things need to be stopped also because they are wrong and because they make us less safe, not more. So back in 2017, Ibaltsi and the Oakland Chinatown Coalition and the Chinatown Chamber of Commerce, we came together to support a pilot program, a community ambassador pilot program that had been started by Asian Health Services and Asian Prisoners Support Committee, whose focus would be on building relationships with and between merchants and residents and community folks and unhoused people and visitors. These ambassadors were multilingual, able to move and communicate across culture, and over a period of more than 2 years, they became trusted by our community because they could empathize with a wide variety of people and because they showed up and did their jobs every day. Look, to wrap up, I know it has been a difficult year. People are desperate to survive, but we're all also desperate to connect to one another. And it's difficult to shove a senior citizen to the ground if you see yourself in them. It's difficult to racially profile someone if you have a relationship to them. And if you've gone to school together or played together on our parks and our recreation centers. So we need to invest our time and love and money in community safety infrastructure and spaces for those people who can help us bridge those relationships. We need to invest in restorative accountability to one another and in solidarity against the conditions that make many of us poor and desperate and unconnected. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Anna. Anna 係響二波斯度做嘅，二波斯係專門幫助屋倫做可負擔房屋啊，幫助屋倫製造多啲空間俾啲人響嗰度住得到適當嘅資源。佢就話雖然我哋響社區度有好多時候遇到好多嗰啲暴力啊，同埋創傷有好多長者或者其他人俾人打劫啊，但係好多時候有警察嚟捉嗰啲人嗰陣時，有時佢哋會捉錯人啊，因為有好多時候嗰啲人因為係種族歧視或者認為見到係黑人，佢哋都認為係嗰啲黑人做嘅，因為佢哋對佢哋有佢哋嘅歧視，好多時候會誤捉咗好多人啊，或者誤傷咗好多人，所以我哋一定要保持一個現象，就係話，當我哋受到傷害嘅時候，係我哋要嗰啲傷害他人嗰啲人，我哋要佢哋負責任，我哋要為受害人爭取佢哋適度嘅資源嚟治癒佢哋嘅創傷。但係我哋一定要當我哋做嗰陣時，我哋一定要唔好去種族歧視其他種族嘅人。另外咧就係我哋要花多啲資源投資喺社區度。因為我哋個創傷唔係好似我哋先頭開始講嗰陣時，唔係淨係我哋個社區受到呢啲創傷，係其他種族亦都受到同樣一個創傷，所以係我哋好重要要明白到呢一點，同埋要去好好地團結其他我想Jan 咧佢就會翻譯響越南文，同埋佢會自己講佢響個小西貢響個細西貢嗰度佢哋嘅一啲現象。Jan. Yeah, I just want to introduce Jan, who's the president of the Vietnamese Chamber of Commerce in Little Saigon. Just talk a little bit about some of the great things happening over there and also some of the challenges that is transpiring over there.
Thank you. Mới đây ông Enner ông giải thích là cái vấn đề sự bạo lực nhắm vào cộng đồng châu Á không phải là chuyện mới. Và cái đó không phải là chỉ ảnh hưởng khu vực phố Tàu nhưng mà cũng ảnh hưởng khu vực Việt Nam của mình luôn, mà chỉ có một màu từ đây. So I was just telling in Vietnamese that the issues that are occurring in Chinatown are not occurring in isolation. This is also happening in East Lake, Little Saigon, just short of a mile from here, happening across Oakland as well. And so we need to see that this moment here together is a moment where we're connecting our issues rather than using the moment to divide us. Và 40 năm trước, cộng đồng của mình đến nước Mỹ này để cho tạo một cơ hội để cho nuôi nấng gia đình của mình. Và bây giờ ngày nào cũng bị ảnh hưởng về cái sự bạo lực đối với cộng đồng của mình. Nhưng mà như Anna nói, mình có giải pháp để cho đối phó sự kỳ thị. Và cái giải pháp đó không phải là sự kỳ thị, mà cái sự đóng góp và làm chung để bảo vệ nhau. And so I was just sharing that, and it was just, you heard what he said in English, and in Vietnamese, I said that these issues will not be resolved with further discrimination, division, but rather collaboration. And so one of the things that we want to mention today is just that the challenges that our Asian communities affect are not singular, that they're unique to each neighborhood. However, the solutions that we're seeing happening in Chinatown can be replicated and used in other neighborhoods as well. Và hôm nay sẽ có nhiều người để nói chuyện những cái giải pháp mà đang bắt đầu trong Chinatown và pháo tòa mà có thể làm trong khu vực Little Sài Gòn của mình.
Thank you, Jen. Next up, I want to introduce my good friend and colleague, Dr. Connie Wan from AAPI Women League, to share with us, to really talk a little bit about some of the challenges, right, that different forms of violence is happening in our community, and how, as a community, within our community, we have that solution. So, Dr. Connie Wan.
Xin cho một tràng pháo tay cho tiến sĩ Connie Wan.
Hello? Hi. For those of us who are Vietnamese, she did that like Paris by night. So I feel like I'm about to sing. So happy Lunar New Year, everyone.
Chúc mừng năm mới.
Chúc mừng năm mới. It is so amazing to see you all here today. Everybody, there are people here from New York, all across the country who came out here today. And I want to say thank you for mobilizing. Thank you for organizing. Thank you for coming through to support all of our communities. Can you all give yourselves a round of applause?
Xin cho một tràng pháo tay cho tất cả mọi người đến hôm nay.
We see you. We absolutely see you. So thank you. And then on that note, what I also want to say is Asian means a whole bunch of things. Let's remember that. We have East Asians, Southeast Asians, South Asians, and West Asians. Those folks have also experienced tons of violence across the globe and here in the United States. So we must uplift that violence is happening across our diaspora and beyond this moment that we're not necessarily celebrating, but we're actually coming together to grieve, to heal from. So let's remember that. Asian makes up a whole bunch of things. What that also means is we have very complicated experiences here in the United States and across the globe. My family's here from Oakland. We live in East Oakland, we live in Chinatown, and we live by the lake. We have been here. So we thank everyone for coming in to ask us what it is we need, not to tell us what we need. That also means that our experiences with violence is not only what you all have seen on TV. That's only a bit of what you've seen or what you know now. So we thank you for coming out, but our communities have suffered poverty. Up to 40% of our people are in poverty. The Chinese elders out here on the street, when you see them sometimes, they're out here selling vegetables they've grown in their gardens. Media is not covering that. They don't see us out here selling 2 cans for $1. No one is calling that violence. But what they do cover is Black on Asian violence. That's what they want to call it. What about that violence of living in poverty under a system that doesn't seem to care about our people? That's the violence we need to answer to. The vigilantes coming out here calling for more police, I need you to answer to that violence. I want you to represent for that. Our communities are also suffering deportation. Answer to that violence. Our people are in detention centers for an indefinite amount of times. I need you there for that too. And then, you're not even accounting for the gender violence that our women are experiencing. I need you to account for that. All the women who have been organizing, many of us, you guys, we're actually getting doxxed and threatened across social media. I need you to come through for that. And I thank you all, everyone here, for taking care of us, because we keep each other safe, not the state that's been hurting us for all of these years.
Woo! Give it up one more time for Dr. Connie Wan.
Yeah.
You want to translate?
That's test.
Hello, hello.
I want to translate that just very briefly. 當我哋明白到我哋嘅犯罪率同埋響我哋社區受到傷害，呢啲唔係某一個種族針對某一個種族，我哋要明白到呢個係系統性嘅黑奴主義所創造出嚟嘅，係系統性嘅種族歧視。當我講系統性嘅種族歧視嗰陣時，好多人話：哦，你或者係去用嚟係做藉口。我朋友 Connie 就話：我哋要明白點，有啲長者喺呢度，喺屋企種咗啲蔬菜啊，喺街度你見到佢喺度買賣，想揾啲錢幫佢屋企人，或者買2個罐頭1蚊雞，想攞1蚊雞去賺呢個錢，係為咗佢哋屋企嘅生活。我哋唔會話嗰啲係暴力，因為我哋要明白到，因為喺媒體上邊好多時候佢哋針對呢就係啲暴力，或者係黑人針對亞洲人，或者針對中國人，或者打劫中國人，但係唔明白系統性種族歧視先至係嘅最主要嘅最嗰個幫我哋社區喺呢個社區上邊製造呢個創傷個主謀嚟嘅，呢個係最重要嘅，我哋明白咗呢一點。所以另外呢，就喺個婦女，我哋喺婦女暴力上邊，我哋要明白得到，就係話，當我哋喺社區明白到，好多呢啲暴力喺度發生，但係當婦女開始講出嚟、企出嚟喺度講呢啲事情嗰陣時候，佢哋喺網上邊受到鎮壓、受到創傷，呢啲人，我哋每一個人都有權力、有責任出嚟為支持佢哋，讓佢哋得到佢哋嘅安全。
Thank you, Eddie. I won't be translating word for word, but I will be saying a few things. Tiến sĩ Connie Wan mới nói, bây giờ là cái thời gian mà báo chí, chính trị muốn dùng cái cơ hội này để chia rẽ cộng đồng của mình. Nhưng mà trước khi mình lên tiếng để cho chống cái sự bạo lực đối với cộng đồng của mình phải biết rằng cái sự bạo lực là không phải chỉ cho cộng đồng Mỹ gốc châu Á thôi, nhưng mà phụ nữ luôn và những người giới tính khác. Và trong cái thời gian này á, trong khi mình đang lên tiếng để cho nói cho những cái sự bạo lực đối với cộng đồng của mình á, mình cũng phải nhìn thấy cái sự bạo lực đối với cộng đồng mình khi mình nghĩ tới những người mà đang ăn xin bây giờ, những người mà mất việc làm, những người á mà vì cái miếng cơm á họ làm những chuyện tội phạm. Và tiến sĩ Connie Wan cũng mới nói rằng cái gốc rễ của sự tội phạm không phải là chuyên môn là chỉ cái người mà đang bị ảnh hưởng, nhưng mà là từ cái vấn đề nghèo đói, kỳ thị, giáo dục và sự thiếu đầu tư của cả thành phố. Thì như vậy thì tiếp tục.
Thank you, Jen. So who's our next speaker, Jen?
Next we, let's see. What'd you say? Rachel Kirkwood. Somebody's calling your name. Wait. Courage.
Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry. Magandang hapon sa inyo. My name is Rachel Kirkwood, and I use they, them pronouns. And I'm here today with Communities United for Restorative Youth Justice, or Courage for short. I just wanted to open up with a little bit about myself. So, after growing up with 9 siblings and a single mother in the provinces of Luzon, around 30 years ago, my mom immigrated here to these lands for a better life. And I remember the hurtful stares as a kid from my neighbors and everyone on my street, and the slurs that were shouted at my parents when my parents would walk me and my sister up to our front door. And I also remember, ever since I was a kid, attacks on our elders in San Jose, Oakland, and San Francisco. So we know this has been happening for a very long time. But through all that, I'm still a proud first-generation Asian American. On my father's side, I come from a long line of Black people on these lands for many generations. So many generations that I can't count. I'm proud to say that my ancestors and their legacy built so much of what we see today, and we are still here surviving and giving back to our community through all of that. My ancestors were enslaved in South Carolina, but my immediate family migrated to California, and here we are today. I came to speak to you as an organizer, but more so as a community member who has seen the hurtful impacts of anti-Asian and immigrant racism against Asians and Asian Americans across the Bay Area. So I want to embrace all the elders who feel violated and unsafe today. I'm asking us to all stand together so we can impact change, real change. I also want to extend my heart to all of the Black and brown young people across Oakland, to the people in San Antonio, Fruitvale, and the people in deep East Oakland. I want to say I see you. And we are here to fight for your safety alongside you. These young people are survivors of crime and victims of violence. And again, I haven't seen the change that we need from any of the old tactics. And if they have worked, we wouldn't be here today. We are taught the only option is to add more police, but I'm here to tell you that we have other options that provide long-term support. We often talk about what imagining public safety looks like beyond police a lot, but I'm here to tell you that at Courage, we're out here doing more than imagining. We're out here doing the work. At Courage, we go into juvenile hall and work with youth and turn them into youth leaders and community builders. I want to give a shout out to all the Courage youth that are out here with us today. We build personal relationships with them because we believe that no young person is disposable. And back in December, unfortunately, the police department ran a letter that criminalized kids in Oakland as young as 11 years old. So those are 5th graders. We want to work to end the criminalization of youth because we know they are our future. We support them with housing, paid internships, food distribution, life coaching, and we see them transformed. Half of our staff are youth that come out of our programming, and we're also incarcerated youth. So we are doing more than arresting someone after the violence has been committed. We are preventing the crime before it happens and transforming the lives and building a community that we know protects each other. At Courage, we know that we keep us safe and that the people within our own communities are the ones who know how to best protect and uplift each other. Both of my communities are in pain right now, and it hurts me to see that. So this is more than a news headline for me. This is very personal. We dedicate our time every day to make sure that our communities feel safe and valued, but we can't do it alone. So I want to say that I stand with Council President Nikki Fortuno Bass and Council Member Carol Fife, APEN, and all the organizers of this event today. I say to our Asian and Black siblings, we need to stand together when the world tries to divide us. We cannot afford another life to be lost. Thank you, everybody, and to my home, the Bay, I love you, mahal kita.
Thank you, Rachel.
Cô Rachel Kirkwood là một người mà ở trong Oakland từ bé tới bây giờ. Cô là từ gốc Phi và gốc Phi Châu. Cô mới nói rằng cái chương trình Courage là một cái chương trình mà đầu tư trong những người thanh niên thế hệ bây giờ. Và cộng những đứa em không phải là giải pháp để cho giúp cộng đồng mình mạnh hơn và làm chung với nhau. Thì bây giờ là cái thời gian á, để cho mình không có dùng cái cơ hội này để cho chia rẽ nhau mà làm chung với nhau và lên án cùng với nhau để cho mình bảo vệ nhau.
大家好，Rachel 係一個響一個青少年組織工作嘅，佢咧就係一個亞裔同非裔混血嘅婦女，咁佢哋所做嘅嘢係為咗青少年點樣當佢哋需要資源嗰陣時，佢哋幫助佢哋啊。如果當佢哋或者出咗事之後，點樣可以幫助佢哋能夠改變，同埋讓佢哋唔會去重犯，因為佢哋係我哋社區嘅棟梁同埋社會嘅一份子。另外咧就係我哋當佢話我哋需要一個空間去處理我哋所經歷嘅歷史性嘅暴力和創傷。我哋需要共同治愈、共同成長，滿足我哋作為社區嘅需要。呢一樣嘢就係我哋好多時候，我哋喺沒有足夠嘅資源之下，我哋一樣都係為我哋嘅社區服務，所以我哋一定要多啲為我哋嘅社區爭取資源。
Thank you, Eddie. And next we have, please give a round of applause again for Rachel Kirkwood. Xin cho một tràng pháo tay cho cô Rachel Kirkwood. Kế tiếp mình có vài người lãnh đạo từ tôn giáo khác nhau. Next we have our cross-cultural interfaith healing leaders, Reverend Deborah Lee of Interfaith Movement for Human Integrity, and Sabir Lockett, Director of Faith Alliance for a Moral Economy. Please give it up and show them some love.
Yeah.
Happy New Year, everyone. Sunyan Vilo. My name is Reverend Deborah Lee with the Interfaith Movement for Human Integrity.
My name is Sabir Lockett, Director of Faith Alliance for a Moral Economy.
And we're joined by an array of faith leaders from different religions, from different ethnic and cultural backgrounds. And if there are others of you who are leaders in the faith community, we invite you to come up and join us here. So I want to thank them. They're representing the Muslim community, the Christian community. They're representing folks here in Oakland, Union City, Alameda, and around the Bay. So thank you. We're here as the faith community because we believe that people should be whole, that our spirit and our bodies all matter, and it's interconnected, and the healing requires the healing of the whole person and the whole body. Our office is right down about a block away on 8th Street, but I know from my own family's experience that Chinatown is sacred. Chinatown is a sacred place for my grandmother, who lived here for 40 years. It was the only place that she felt comfortable. It was the only place that she felt home. It was the only place where things felt familiar. And so for those reasons, Chinatown itself and Little Saigon, those are sacred places. Place and community are sacred. So I wanted to ask Sabir, because he grew up here in Oakland, what would it mean for Oakland to be a sacred place?
Happy New Year, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. Yeah, and again, you know, what it means to be sacred. What does it mean to be whole? What does it mean to have a community that actually care about each other and love each other? And before I state, I want to just say that, you know, we stand united with all who suffer from violence and crime. And we are committed to addressing the root causes of violence and crime, which stems from poverty, racism, and white supremacy. And I just want to also state, you know, growing up in, I went to Westlake, and right here by Lake Merritt, and I remember growing up with my Asian brothers and sisters and my neighbors. And, you know, we as kids, you know, we learned together, we played together, you know, we, you know, played at the park, you know, we did everything. RLCT, all these programs we did in school, we did it together as a community. You know, before, you know, we had society projecting hate and injustice upon our lives. You know, we had the sacred space that was our youth. and we saw each other as human, and we saw each other as unity, and we were together, and we as a community. And one of the things I want to express as now as an adult, you know, we owe it to ourselves to have that same type of space. You know, if we can embody this fundamental truth and speak truth to power to create a society we all want to see by embodying solidarity and advocating for meaningful solutions for our frontline workers, for our families who are suffering from poverty and lack and homelessness, and people every day that are just working to make it. Because the root causes of crime and violence is poverty, and it is the lack of resources. And these are the things, this is the real crime. This is the real crime of racism and white supremacy in this country. And we can't be divided. So a beloved and honored community is a community that can see each other, hold each other close, and stand united. Thank you.
I want to invite Danny Tongzi, who's also been one of the shapers here in Oakland, to share his vision for Sacred Oakland.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. It's glad to see everybody out here, you know, together, standing in solidarity. I do want to acknowledge the harm that has been caused to our elders, to our community, but I do want to invite us to look at this as not a racial matter, but as a systemic issue within itself. I could share just a little bit about my background. Thank you. So my family were refugees from the country of Laos because of the U.S. carpet bombing. And when we resettled here in the U.S., we experienced violence, poverty, and such. So when I was 17 years old, I was sent to state prison. And I spent 2 decades in there. And you know what's interesting? During my time when I was incarcerated, I met a lot of good black brothers in there who I consider my blood brothers. And we were really close. So, but anyway, after 2 decades of incarceration, when I came home, they were out here also to embrace me. Some of them had paved the way for me to be successful. And that's why I'm able to stand before you. So when I came home to Oakland, you all embraced me because about 2 years ago, I was facing deportation. So I reached out to all you guys, community. You guys wrote letters, support letters, called the governor's office, tweet, and even, you know, pass a city resolution, which Council Member Tao and Boss has championed. And thank you. And about 3 months ago in November, I received a call from the governor saying that I was granted a pardon. Thank you. And the reason why I'm sharing this is because when we come together, aside from our race, you know, the hate and all this stuff, amazing things can happen. And that's what I want us to, you know, like center on. The message is that when we come together, amazing things can happen. And so I want to share just a little bit about my vision for Oakland is this. So I envision Oakland as a place where we could break bread, celebrate each other's culture, and dance to each other's music. A place that is safe for our elders, for our kids, for our youth, and for all of us without fear and policing. I envision Oakland as a place where our community can thrive together. A place where our unsheltered family has a roof over their heads, have hot meals and blankets. A place where our refugees, immigrants, undocumented family can live without the fear of ICE. I envision Oakland as a place where we can heal and grow together. A place where we can cry, laugh, and share a story. I envision Oakland a place for Black and Asian unity. Thank you.
And once again, now I want to ask our Reverend Dale Lee the same question. What is your vision for an honored and sacred Oakland?
Well, my vision is that we're a community that will defend each other, that will protect each other, that will treat each other like family. You know, when someone else is like family, you don't even have to think about, are you going to show up in the middle of a pandemic? Right? Is that why you're here today? You're not going to think about it because this comes from a place of love. So I believe we have a duty as faith communities to prevent harm, we have a duty to prevent harm that occurs to anybody, and to do it wisely, not stupidly, not that creates more harm and more violence, but in a way that creates love and compassion and helps us to see one another face to face and eye to eye.
Thank you. And all of that, you know, envisioning how do we see a loved and honored Oakland, you know, that's understanding each other and understanding that our differences is not a problem, but it what makes us great. It's also holding space for everyone, no matter what it is that we may be going through. It is also supporting each other, and not only our losses, but celebrating in our joys. And it is also to see the bigger picture and the interconnectedness of all of our families and all of our communities.
So we understand that the trauma and the violence that's happened didn't just happen to a few people. In a lot of ways, it's happened to all of us collectively. From seeing the videos, from hearing the stories, from seeing the news, we've all also been harmed. So we'd like to invite you to participate in an exercise, a spiritual exercise. We're going to use our bodies to try to recognize that and honor and heal.
Reverend Deborah Lee 係同好多唔同嘅信仰啊，同埋唔同嘅機構係多種類嘅信仰機構一齊喺度去分享佢哋嘅心聲，係分享佢哋嘅心聲嚟，我哋點樣可以無論我哋係乜嘢宗教啊，無論我哋乜嘢信仰，我哋都應該一齊為我哋嘅社區，為我哋Oakland，為我哋全部喺呢度所謂嘅人一齊會爭取我哋嘅平安同埋利益。Danny 講佢自己個經歷，一個老撾嚟嘅，東南亞嚟嘅一個難民嚟到美國，雖然佢入咗去監倉入邊，由17歲坐監坐咗20幾年，出翻嚟就為社區服務，得到州長嘅認同，去特赦咗佢，佢而家一樣響為我哋社區服務。好多時候我哋話啲人犯咗罪坐到監，佢哋應該永遠都唔出嚟，應該懲罰佢哋。但係我哋知道每一個人都能夠可以改過嘅，如果我哋給佢哋適當嘅資源。咁而家Reverend Deborah 咧就話我哋應該做一啲我哋應該一齊可以做嘅動作，去表達我哋點樣去互相接受、互相幫助大家。So I was talking about the gestures that we're going to do. Maybe you can share a little bit.
Yes. Thank you. This is how diverse Oakland is. We have to do in Cantonese. We have to do in Vietnamese. And if we did it in Spanish and other languages here, we would probably not go home tonight. So with that, I have to do the due diligence and just translate into Vietnamese. Mục sư Deborah Lee hôm nay và mục sư Sabir Lockett và ông Danny đến đây để chia sẻ cái tầm nhìn của họ cho thành phố Oakland. Và trong cái tầm nhìn đó, họ muốn là thành phố Oakland là một cái thành phố mà tuổi trẻ có thể chơi chung với nhau. Không có quan trọng cái dân xác của họ, cái xác dân của họ, nhưng mà có thể từ cái sự đầu tư của thành phố mà thiếu nhi, người lớn, tất cả mọi người có thể tôn trọng nhau. Và mình phải nhớ rằng trước khi đến nước Mỹ này á, người nào cũng đang trải qua nhiều sự khó khăn. Và từ cái đó bây giờ là cái cơ hội để cho mình đứng chung với nhau, để cho thông cảm và hiểu biết và bảo vệ nhau. Vì nếu mà mình tiếp tục có cảm thấy rằng người này ở đây, người khác ở trong khu vực khác, những chuyện mà xảy ra với họ không có dính líu với mình sẽ không có tiến bộ được. Thì từ cái đó, ông Danny mới nói rằng ông là gốc từ Lào qua từ chiến tranh. Trước khi ông qua đây, ông bị ảnh hưởng rất nhiều cái sự không có đủ sự giáo dục. Và từ cái đó ông vào tù cũng 20 năm. Và trong cái thời gian đó ông chơi thân với những người Mỹ gốc Phi Châu. Và từ cái đó ông cảm thấy rằng ông có một cái cộng đồng. Từ trong đó ông ra đây, ông về lại Oakland, ông thấy có rất là nhiều người thương ổng và khuyến khích ổng để ông tiến bộ, giống như hồi nãy ông Eddie sáng nay nói. So, từ cái đó bây giờ mục sư Deborah Lee và mục sư Severe Lockett muốn mình bây giờ mình phải nhìn nhận những cái sự tổn thương mà tất cả mọi người ở đây hôm nay đến hôm nay đã từng trải qua, và họ sẽ có vài cái cử động để cho mình làm á, hành động á, để cho mình có thể xả ra cái đau đớn, xả ra cái sự bực bội, và từ cái đó mình có thể đem vào tình thương và sự bảo vệ cho nhau.
Let's do the gestures. Let's do.
Okay, so in the spirit of love our people and love our community, we first want to ask everyone to just kind of just be, just, breathe a little bit. We know it may be a little tight, but just breathe and unwind. Allow yourself space to just be for a second.
Trước tiên ông nói rằng mình nên đứng ở đây và thở vô thở ra, và mình không có cần làm gì hết để cho mình bắt đầu cái hành động này.
Yeah. 我哋大家可以深呼吸去放鬆一下，深呼吸放鬆一下。
Okay.
And now we would like to honor that everyone just see yourself, hold yourself.
Ông nói mình nên ôm bản thân của mình và thương bản thân của mình.
大家睇到你同埋我哋自己喺度抱住一下自己。
And that's hello? Okay. And that's an acknowledgement of how we are feeling in your own body, and that we are seeing ourselves and honoring ourselves.
我哋點樣去感受我哋自己嘅身體？點樣去尊重我哋自己？
And whatever it is that you are feeling, just know that it's okay to feel that. Hold that space and feel exactly what you're feeling and honor yourself.
Có thể trong khi cái thời gian này, khi mình đang ôm bản thân của mình thấy hơi kỳ, hơi ngộ, hơi lạ. Nhưng ông nói đừng có lo. Những cái cảm giác mình đang cảm thấy bây giờ thì cứ chỉ cho như thế.
And now we would like everyone to bow.
Bây giờ ông muốn mình cúi để lại.
叫大家鞠躬一下。
And that bowing is an honoring and acknowledgement of our sacredness as individuals, our resiliency as individuals, our humanity, and the strength within ourselves.
Ông nói khi mình chào như vậy á, mình đang nhìn nhận cái sự sức mạnh và cố gắng của tất cả mọi người và bản thân của mình.
Now we invite everyone to see yourself or see others.
Ông nói bây giờ mình nên
Look around.
ngó vòng vòng coi những người chung quanh mình là ai.
我要大家互相去周圍睇下我哋全部咁美麗的人。
Make contact with your neighbor. See the humanity in everyone. And
你
that,
嘅鄰居。
there's one race, the human race, and that we see each other.
Và trong cái thời
And
gian
you are
này
seen.
mình nên nhìn vô ánh mắt của mọi người và chấp nhận là mình là một xác dân cùng chung.
Now we would ask everyone to put a hand up to your ears and hear each other. Hear everyone around you. I hear you. Without words, but I hear you. I see you and I hear you. And I am being heard.
佢話我哋聽到你，我哋聽到你啊！唔單止我哋睇到你，我哋亦都聽到你。
Và ông nói bỏ cái tai mình qua cái lỗ tai để cho mình show với mọi người là mình đang lắng nghe những câu chuyện và tình trạng của họ.
And now we would like a collective mourning or sadness and whatever that we feel and grief, hold it. And it's okay to feel exactly it is what you're feeling.
我哋亦都可以去度哀，即係覺得我哋有個感受，我哋嘅感受係乜嘢，我哋可以去認同，有呢個度哀。
Và trong cái thời gian này á, những chuyện đang xảy ra, cái sự bạo lực đối với cộng đồng Á Châu của mình, nếu mà mình tức, mình bực bội, mình buồn á, thì cứ tiếp tục nhớ rằng cái đó không có sao.
And now we would like another bow. Bow again.
Bây giờ ông muốn mình chào thêm một lần nữa.
And that is also an acknowledgement of the sadness, resiliency, humanity, and the strength in others.
我哋鞠躬係要認同好多人嘅傷心同埋你嘅感受。
And now we would like for guys to open up your arms with your palms up. And that's an acceptance. You know, in a state of acceptance and receiving.
Ông nói rằng khi mình giơ tay như vậy, mình đang chuẩn bị để chấp nhận những cái sự yêu thương và đóng góp và ủng hộ của những cộng đồng khác.
當我哋將我哋個手打開嗰陣時，我哋話我哋接受，我哋去接受。
And now we would like everyone in the last and final gesture to put your hand on your heart, feel what you're going through,
將你嘅手擺
honor
喺你
your
嘅心
space,
臟上邊，
and then send that out in a gesture to everyone else present in the collective humanity.
將我哋的愛傳發俾他人，傳發俾全人類。
Với cái bàn tay của mình đụng trái tim của mình và mình thả cái sự cầu mong cho hòa đồng cho tất cả cộng đồng và thế giới.
So we're going to go through it one more time faster. So first of all, holding your, I see myself. I recognize and acknowledge what's happening in my own self and body. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Xin cho một tràng pháo tay. How's everyone doing? You feeling ready for more? I know you're relaxed, but you got to bring in the heat. Come on. All right, one more time. Y'all ready for what's next? Because we got a very special person here, Alvina Wong, joining us from APAN. All right, let's give him a round of applause.
Come on, Alvina. Over there, get that mic.
And at this moment, I would like to invite, whoa, all right. He's ready. Invite Chien, if you can step up here. And
hello, everyone. Hey, 大家好。多謝晒你哋大家今日出嚟。Thank you all for coming. And thank you to that really beautiful moment. I think a lot of times, especially because we've been moving so fast, people are like, what is this really about? And this is really about healing and about all the different ways that we can heal. So I also hope that folks have been able to check out the tents and the beautiful artwork, because there's faith that can help us heal. There's art and creativity that can help us heal. Being in nature, being able to do this at a park can help us heal. And we have so many other ways to do that. And also a really, really important part of that is to witness the stories and witness the experiences that are about to happen. So I've also invited my good friend Nathan to come help and hold this space as we are inviting different stories from Little Saigon as well as Chinatown. And we hope that you will hear them with an open heart and be able to see them for what they are in this moment and know that we need to be all in this together. Yeah, so, I already,
okay, one more time.
oh, introducing Nathan, sorry. And then, did you want to bring up
One at a time.
folks from Favi?
Yeah, one at a time. You can just have him speak first.
Oh, no, we're gonna.
I'm not speaking yet.
Yeah, he's not speaking yet.
Okay. All right. With that, we roll with the punches. All right. And next, I just want to invite a very special business leader in East Lake, Little Saigon, Chien Nguyen, who is the owner of Quickly Boba Shop on East 12th and 6th. Please give him a round of applause as he shares his experience and his stories about what's happening in the neighborhood and how it's affecting him.
This one?
Yeah.
All right. So a lot of you guys out here. All right, so you don't have to bear with me because I'm not the best public speaker. But, you know, Jen was like, you know, you don't have to be the best public speaker. Just be real, be you. So I'm going to be real. I could do that. All right, for 5 minutes. Too close?
No.
Okay, let's go ahead. All right. So I'm Chen Nguyen. I own Quickly on East 12th Street. That's where that robbery happened about 2 days ago with that woman. Why am I here? I'm here to represent my community. East Lake, Little Saigon, Funktown, whatever you guys want to call it. I'm ready to represent that area because we've been suffering for years. I wasn't even gonna come today, but look, Liang from Sun Fat came over and asked me, am I gonna come? I told her I'm understaffed, I need to be here, I don't feel comfortable leaving. The only way I'm gonna leave and come is if I close. And she said, Chin, you need to close. We need you. You need to speak up and speak out. So that's why I'm here. So, a couple things. I just wanted to address that one issue with the lady 2 days ago. And you know, she came through, bought a milk tea. She had her son in the back seat. Nobody knows that. She had her son in the back seat. She bought one milk tea, got in her car, and left away without a purse in a traumatizing event. You know what I mean? That's with her son in the background, seeing everything. 2-3 minutes later, my mom came, pulled up with my daughter. Now I don't know what will happen. I don't know how I would feel if that would have happened to my mom. I'll go crazy. Okay? And something that really doesn't sit well with me is that, you know, we called JoJo and her crew. I know JoJo, you around here somewhere. Yeah, JoJo, we called JoJo and the Goliath security. Within 5 minutes, they pulled up. They came, they pulled up, they said, what happened? Where are they at? Do you know what they look like? They asked all the questions. We have video cameras and everything. Okay? Till this very moment, right now, 2 days later, Oakland police still hasn't came over. They haven't asked any questions, nothing. And I don't think that doesn't sit well with me. Why is it that private security, you know, where our community came up with, they pull up within 5 minutes, but Oakland police, when we ask for some help, we let them know that, hey, something happened. 2 days later, they haven't came. That doesn't sit well with me. You know what I mean? You know what the response? I called today just to see, you know, follow up on our case or whatever. You know, they said you're in queued. We're good. They're responding to all the cases in order they received. And I said, it's been 2 days already. What do you mean? They said, you know, 2 days, it seems like it's a long time, but really it's not. I don't think, 2 days, what do you guys think? 2 days and they still haven't responded to us yet? That's way too long. So, I don't know, that doesn't sit well with me. That's very sad, I know. And you know, Sun Fat, like I said, the lady, the owner of Sun Fat, she came over, she asked me, I could see the pain in her eyes when she asked me, and I told her, I'm not coming. I could see the pain in her eyes when I said, I'm not coming. She almost cried right in front of me because this happens time after time after time in front of her supermarket. But none of this gets publicized because a lot of Asians, you know, they're quick to like brush it underneath the rug. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to come forward. And I don't know, it just doesn't sit right. I want to come forward. I want to make some change. I want to do something and create some positive change in our community. I've seen a lot of disturbing comments. I just want to make one thing clear. This is not black on Asians, okay? I have a lot of black friends. Most of my friends are black. You go to my store right now, you see a big sign that says Black Lives Matter. We stood side by side with our black community. You know, I think our black community, you guys got to stand up for us where the same way we stood up with you guys, okay? I'm not going to group a couple of individuals and say all blacks, you know, are harming our Asian family. I'm not going to say that because those group of individuals don't determine everybody in their race. There's a lot of good people. So, yeah.
What are some last words?
Last words?
How can people support our neighborhood?
Just do what's right. You know what I mean? Right is right, wrong is wrong. You know, everybody should have the right to walk down the street, not look over their shoulder and feel like somebody's gonna grab my bag. You know what I mean? That's somebody's mom, that's somebody's sister, that's somebody's grandma. Like I said, my mom pulled up 2 minutes after the robbery happened. I don't know what I would do if that happened to my mom. I would lose my mind. Yeah, just, you know, show love, guys, and just make sure that if you guys know the people that's doing these crimes, just check them. You know what I mean? Like, hey, that's not cool. Think twice. That's all.
Thank you, Chin.
No problem.
Thank you. Give it up. Show some love for Chin. All right. Thank you so much for closing your business today to show up in a time where he's understaffed, overworked. He's a father to a beautiful little girl who goes to Franklin. You know, Chin has roots in this town. He has roots in this town. Chin là chủ của Quickly. Và Chin 2 ngày trước bị người ăn trộm. Và Chin nói Chin rất là đau lòng. Tại không có ai để ý rằng trong cái xe đó là đứa con của cái bà mà bị giật. Và anh rất là đau lòng. Tại vì 2 phút sau khi cái người đó bị giật, mẹ của anh đến tiệm. Anh nói nếu mà cái đó là mẹ của anh thì anh không có biết cảm giác như thế nào. Và anh nói rằng tại sao khi anh gọi những người trong cộng đồng 5 phút sau họ đến để giúp anh, trong khi đến bây giờ 2 ngày sau cảnh sát chưa gọi, 2 ngày sau cảnh sát chưa có xin cái video, 2 ngày sau họ nói rằng mày phải đợi. Đấy, xong anh nói tại sao mình trả tiền thuế, trả tiền tất cả nhưng mình không có dịch vụ những cái khu vực khác. Thì anh nói trong khi hôm nay anh làm bận quá, anh không có thời gian đến. Nhưng mà cô Liên từ Xanh Hợp Pháp năn nỉ anh đến. Tại vì bây giờ là cái thời gian mà mình cần ảnh, cái tiếng nói của ảnh. Và anh nói rằng đáng ra anh không có muốn tới. Vì sao? Tại 2 ngày trước mới bị cướp. Và trong khi những người mà anh mướn, nhân viên toàn là Mỹ Đen, Á Châu, mà ảnh cũng bị giật. Anh nói nếu mà ảnh bị giật á, thì những người khác còn bị nguy hiểm hơn. Thì anh nói trong cái thời gian này á, anh muốn á, rằng tất cả mọi người nhìn nhau. Và khi mình thấy cái chuyện mà không có đúng á, thì lên tiếng, lên án. Và anh nói rằng từ đó tới giờ anh rất là ủng hộ và giúp những người Mỹ gốc Mỹ đen trong cái thời gian này. Và anh nói bây giờ là cái thời gian để cho anh kêu gọi những người đó để cho ông ủng hộ cộng đồng của mình, cộng đồng Á Châu.
我想同大家講一講咧，就係先頭響 Quickly 個老闆佢就講，我哋響唐人個網絡上邊啊，喺微信上邊你睇到呢單案就係呢個婦女去買一個煲霸奶茶，買個奶茶，但係佢有個個仔喺後邊坐住，大家係睇唔到嘅。嗰啲人去打劫咗佢出咗嚟，但係好多時候呢啲係我哋都唔知道嘅事，好多亞裔發生喺亞裔身上啲事，佢哋係唔知道嘅。咁佢哋能夠叫嗰啲私人嗰啲保安，佢哋就即刻就出嚟啦，即刻出嚟問佢點樣可以幫到佢哋啊，點樣追啲人。但係警察咧，佢等咗2日都仲未有消息，同警察講咗2日都冇警察去佢個鋪頭嗰度問發生咩事，做到啲乜嘢，可以做到啲乜嘢。雖然我哋喺社區上邊有好多時候發生係打劫案啊，有時係見到係啲非裔喺度，但係唔係全部非裔都係暴力嘅，係傷害我哋嘅人，係少數嗰啲人係真唔同嘅因素佢哋所做嘅，但係我哋都要佢哋負責任。但係最重要都係我哋就互相幫助、互相支持，係為我哋社區揾到適當嘅解決嘅問題，唔係成日去依賴某一個機構去幫助我哋，為我哋嘅治安着想。
Thank you. You can clap to that. I see this brother over here. Thank you. Yes, let's maintain the enthusiasm and love for all of our communities, all right? And next we have, go ahead.
So in this section, you know, I think a lot of times people don't want to speak out. We contacted the family of the grandma, who you've probably seen the video of a lot, who was robbed inside the herbal shop. And we're like, is there anything you want folks to know? How are you doing? What do you want to tell folks? And she said, I'm doing okay. Please tell folks I'm doing okay and I want to be better. And thank you for your support. We also hear stories from other survivors and those who have been impacted, and we ask them, what do you want? And she's like, most times people just want their stuff back, right? But we want to bring those stories in, and we want you to hear from them directly, because I think a lot of times what we see are these security cam footage videos that don't tell a story. They don't tell the full picture. So next we have a video from one of our APEN members. APEN is the Asian Pacific Environmental Network. We've been organizing in Chinatown and Richmond, California. And in Chinatown, we've been really fighting for affordable housing and tenants' rights. And so one of our key leaders that has been at the forefront of fighting for more affordable housing and more tenants' rights has also been impacted by crime. And so we wanted to share her story. She didn't feel comfortable coming out today. You know, COVID is a big deal, plus it's Lunar New Year. So we have a short video that we want to hear her voice. And afterwards, I will translate back into English.
Can I translate the video?
Hello， 我即係喺唐人埠咧，我住咗成20幾年啦。咁我當初嚟嗰時候咧，唐人埠咧個治安咧都 OK 嘅，但係都有不法之徒啦。咁啊有一次咧，我曾經記得咧就落貨啊，行喺十街嗰度，即係而家嗰個美食居嗰度咧，同我個藥材鋪度行過馬路就俾人搶袋啦。當時一搶袋嗰時候咧，哇！我就好驚啊，又氣憤啦，嗬！咁啊喺度叫啦，咁啊跟住咧嗰個 market 個老闆啦，就同我去追幾條街啊！啲人啊讓開條路俾你行去追啊，都冇人幫手啊！當時我就好氣憤。咁後來咧啲人同我報警之後咧，我企喺條街企足1個鐘頭啊！嗰啲阿 Sir 先嚟到，都唔知有冇嚟，我唔記得咗啦，即係差唔多好耐，等咗好耐，阿 Sir 先係嚟。咁咧，咁個袋又俾人攞咗啦，好嬲啊！當時翻唔到工，嗰時做 part time 工啊咁樣。咁啊，你受傷害啊嘛。咁啊，同時咧，又當時嘅英文唔係咁好啦，又唔敢啊點去發聲音啦，係咪？咁啊，事隔咁多年啦，咁啊，唐人街咧，而家咧仲更加犀利啦，係咪先？日日都不斷咁樣上演啊，不同嘅搶劫啊、打劫啊，甚至係傷害啲老人家啊！呢啲咁嘅行為真係好令人髮指咯。有乜嘢係緊要過生命啊？係咪先？但係我真係唔明白點解係一定要搶華人呢？係咪？點解我哋華人就好欺負咩？並唔係啫，我哋勤勞勇敢係咪先？啊，熱愛自己嘅家園，咁點解會受到人欺凌呢？真係講起啲嘢我就好氣憤㗎。所以咧，我哋個個都一定要保護自己，同時咧要積極去參與社區嗰啲所有嗰啲團結一切可以團結嘅力量，不同種族一齊凝聚力，搞好華埠去，俾翻個太平盛世、安全、安居樂業嘅生活嘅華埠，呢個係好重要咯。
In her video, she says, she was actually robbed or mugged on 10th Street, right outside where the herbal shop is right now. And back in the day when she was mugged, no one helped her. After screaming for a little while, one of the store owners came out and chased after the person who took her things, and then everyone else just backed away and let them keep running away. And she felt so alone. Like, why is no one looking out for me? And this is happening. And she was a new immigrant. She's been in Oakland for over 20-some years. But at that time, she was a new immigrant, and she was only working part-time. And she was encouraged to call the police, and so she did. And she stood on that corner where she was just traumatized for over an hour before anyone came. And she doesn't even remember if anyone actually came. And after that, there was no recourse. And she was asking folks why. Our lives are so important. Being able to live healthy lives that feel safe is so important. And then she asks, why us? Why Asians? Are we easy? Are we weak? Why do you all think that? We're not. Our Asian communities are courageous and loving, family loving. Why would you treat us that way? So what we're really needing and what I'm asking of you all is to keep organizing, to keep building communities and building across all of these different communities so that we can come together and really fight for each other and love each other. I've lived in Chinatown for over 20 some years, and it just feels like it's getting worse and worse. So we need to come together and be able to walk around on the streets and not be afraid, and be able to be happy with one another when we see each other. And that's really, really important. So that was her message. I'm going to let folks interpret.
Mới đây mình mới nghe một cái video của một người cao niên mà bị cướp tháng trước. Bà bị cướp trong một cái tiệm thuốc bắc. Bà rất là đau đớn tại vì trong cái thời gian bà bị cướp, bà thấy nhiều người không có ai lên tiếng, bà cảm thấy rất là cô đơn. Tại vì sao? Tôi sống ở đây 20 mấy năm mà tôi vẫn bị cái tình trạng như vậy. Và tôi biết rằng không phải một mình tôi bị ảnh hưởng mà nhiều người luôn. Thì trong cái thời gian này á, là đa số những người á, thì họ muốn là mình làm cách nào để cho giải pháp. Nhưng mà đa số người chỉ muốn rằng cái điều mà bị cướp á, họ trả lại thôi. Và không có một cái chuyện đó xảy ra nữa. Thì bà nói rằng bà mong là cái thời gian này á, là mình làm chung với nhau để cho nếu cái chuyện đó xảy ra có người lên tiếng. Nếu mà có gì xảy ra thì mình làm chung với nhau để cho không có một người thêm bị người nạn nhân về cái vấn đề này nữa.
So these are just a few of the stories that we hear. Thank you all for listening and taking it in. I think a lot of times, and even just as walking around today, folks are like, what's going on? Why are we talking about this? So many times our communities, immigrant and refugee communities that can't speak the language, don't follow English news, are like, why is this happening? And why aren't people showing up for us? And what we know, when we're so fortunate to be able to communicate in English and build these alliances and many of these partnerships for many, many years, is that you do show up, that you do ask, how can you support, that you call us right away and say, I'm ready. And we know that, and we see that, and we want our communities to see that too. And so I think one of the big reasons why we put this together, why we're making sure it's in live stream, making sure that we have multiple languages, is so that after this event, we can share this back out with our immigrant and refugee communities who feel so alone, so isolated, feels like no one cares about them, and show them, man, today is a beautiful showing, so much love out here, and they need to feel it too, and they need to see it. So thank you again for coming out.
Yeah, let's give it up. So all the other monolingual speakers, they hear that we in solidarity with them, that we are fighting for them. Because when we fight for them, we're fighting for ourselves, right? So before I Okay, go ahead, Jen.
I just wanted to add to in Vietnamese là Alvina nói rằng trong cái thời gian này á, là nhiều người không biết rằng những cái chuyện này xảy ra với những người cộng đồng của mình gốc Á Châu. Vì sao? Tại vì họ không có nói tiếng Anh, vì họ lớn tuổi và họ không có biết gọi ai. Thì trong cái thời gian này á, cô nói rằng mình nên dùng cái quyền lợi của mình, dùng cái quyền lực của mình á, để cho lên án và nói chuyện cho những người á, mà không có tiếng nói.
All right, thanks. Look, I know everybody be standing around for a minute. Appreciate you for sticking around, but this is what solidarity looks like, right? So this is what community looks like, right? This is part of the sacrifice that we are standing up for our people, for all people. So before I introduce the next group coming up, it will be remiss for me not to acknowledge many of the formerly incarcerated folks out here, right? That who may have done harm before, but yet they changed and now they're back in our society. We need to embrace them. I just saw at least 5 of my people who had done time with inside. They're out here, right? My boy Oscar Grant, he's out. Man, I can't believe it. Right? He's out here. My boy Kevin, my boy David, right? Man, they're out here. And all the folks from AWA, they're out here, right? They're out here, they say, man, we're gonna do something. We ain't gangsters. We ain't gangsters like people think that we gangsters, right? But they got love for our people too. It really doesn't matter how people label each other. Ultimately, we want love. We want to feel love. So Man.
Yeah.
So given that many of us are juvenile who committed life crimes, right? Because we were young, because we didn't get the guidance, we didn't get the education that we need, that we didn't appreciate freedom, we didn't appreciate our family sacrifices. We have building AAPI power, APOWs here. I want to invite Rumini Hong and Stanley Peng and all the youngsters to come out here to share about the great work that they're doing.
Xin cho một tràng pháo tay cho trung tâm của thanh niên gốc Á Châu.
Hello, everybody. This is love, for real. I've never been big on February 14th, but I'm good with celebrating love and community and healing here today with y'all. My name is Rumini. I was born and raised in the town. I am a mom. I am a child of Cambodian refugees. I'm an artist. And I'm also co-director of an organization called APAL. APAL has been around for 23 years, working around youth development and movement building. I grew up in youth organizing, so I understand the power that youth have, because change, it has always started with young folks, right? I look to the youth for inspiration. They're inheriting this world, and I don't want them, I don't want my son to have to fight for the same things that we're fighting for today, to be seen, or to be heard, or to feel safe. And so when I think about solutions on how to move forward, I think about what solutions are gonna work for everybody. And I'm not here to take up more space. There's plenty of adult allies who are saying amazing, wonderful things. I do wanna introduce a couple of our youth. The first person that's gonna speak is Jazzy, who is a youth campaign organizer with APAL. And following her is Ethan, who is with CPA's Youth Mojo. Give it up for them, y'all.
Hello. My name is Jaslyn, but I'd like to take the time to thank everyone for coming out today to stand in solidarity. First off, everyone look around y'all. We all are human, breathing the same air, trying to survive this pandemic. We all are out here trying to rewrite history. Going against each other will never change our next generation's future. Have y'all not realized this is what the government wants to happen? People of color turn against each other, tearing down one another, so they can hold the power we've been oppressed with. But look, I'm not out here to call out the wrongs or the rights. I was just on a Zoom call from 9 to 2, rushed over here because as a 15-year-old Oakland teen, I'm trying to heal my community, not for my future, but the kids in 20 years, so they don't have to see this sort of life. What did I give it to?
All right. Thanks. Hi, y'all. My name is Ethan. I'm the coordinator for CPA Youth Mobile. Not gonna lie, I'm really nervous right now. But I just want to say, from my perspective, I'm just gonna speak from the heart. Being a youth person and a teenager in Oakland, I've seen so many things in this life that a teenager should not see. Like, but I'm so happy. Damn, I'm gonna cry. Goddamn. But I just gotta be honest. There's a lot of things I'm hella hopeful for right now. Just seeing everybody around here, people of color, no matter what gender, no matter what race, no matter what ethnicity, no matter what religion, we're all here in solidarity. We're all people of color. So that's what I just want to address right now. Next thing I want to address is just the fact that just 5 years ago, this thing would not be happening. We would not be seeing this type of change. I just want to say that change is actually happening. We're all working together. Just 5 years ago, we would not be seeing this type of thing, seeing all of us working together for a better world. We'll be, for example, my experience, just a few years ago, somebody that I know went through, I'm not going to be personal, but they went through some racist things with another person. Like, nobody said anything about it. Everybody just looked at it, just saw it as it is. This is another thing that's happening. But like now when I see something like that happening, I see everybody working together and addressing the situation. I see everybody knowing that change is actually happening, knowing that people are actually learning from each other. I don't know what else to say except for just the fact that I'm happy, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful to see that everybody here, we're all people of color being oppressed by the system, but yet we're all working together. Of course, I'm not saying it's a perfect world right now. It's not. This is still going to be happening, and we're still going to have to fight for a long time. But again, I just want to say, we don't fight racism with racism, we fight it with solidarity. That's all I want to say for now. Thank you.
A Pao, thank you, A Pao.
Xin cho một tràng pháo tay cho những người thanh niên này. It's not easy coming here to talk, and they've been trained by the best in Oakland. So thank you again for our APAL leaders.
我哋一定要多謝投資響青少年嘅教育同埋佢哋嘅學業，呢度係我哋好重要嘅。咁樣我哋先可以防止一個學校到監倉嘅一個橋梁，個橋梁，我哋唔需要嗰啲嘅。
Jennifer biết rằng bây giờ nhiều người rất là lạnh, sắp sửa lạnh, nhưng mà ráng lên tại cái sự lên án về cái sự bạo lực đối với cộng đồng của mình á, tất cả mọi người đến đây để cho ủng hộ mình thì ráng lên, đứng thêm để cho nghe mọi người nữa. And bây giờ kế tiếp mình có nghị viên từ khu vực 2, Nikki Bass, and this next speaker here is our champion for District 2 and all of Oaklanders. Please give a hand for Council Member President Nikki Bass.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Eddie. Hello, Oakland. This is such a beautiful, beautiful scene. My name is Nikki Fortunato Bass. I'm proud to be the District 2 representative on City Council and the newly elected Council President. This is Oakland at its best. This is the diversity of our Asian Pacific American communities. This is solidarity with our Latinx communities. And I see Cesar right here from Homies Empowerment in East Oakland. I see Dorsey Nunn from All of Us or None, Legal Services for Prisoners representing our Black community. I know that folks from Segurite Land Trust opened up this space with a land acknowledgement from our Indigenous community. This is Oakland at its best. I want to first say that this space for healing is so important. To create space, to hold space, to acknowledge the victims of violent crime is important. So I want to say I see you, I hear you, and I myself have personally been a victim too. It's been many years, but I have been robbed at gunpoint. That particular experience was frightening, and it was even more frightening because the man who held me up was just a boy. His hand was shaking as he was holding that gun. And it took me a while to get past that trauma. It took me a while to recognize, just like you heard from Chien, from the Quickway, his store was robbed 2 days ago. It took me a while to recognize that we can be victims, and we can also have empathy to understand the root causes of why these crimes are committed. So I want to say to you, let's build public safety together. Let's build public safety with community solutions. Let's recognize what will keep us safe. And we're already doing that. You all know that here in Chinatown, there has been a community ambassador program that has been keeping our community safe. And I am committed to working to build that program with you, not only here in Chinatown, but in Little Saigon. It's community-led solutions that we can work on together to keep our community safe. We know it's going to take a while for traditional policing to work. We heard that from Chien. But if we can have our police focus on violent crime and create community-driven solutions to keep us safe, and that's things like activating our park. And we've made investments in this park in Lincoln. It's keeping our streets safe. It's keeping our business districts vibrant. Those are the types of investments we can make. It's also making sure that people have the health care and education that they need. And so for me to serve you as the representative of Chinatown, for those of you who don't know me, I want to let you know I don't just represent you at City Council where I've been working for 2 years. This is my community too. For over 2 decades, I have worked 2 blocks away at the Asian Resource Center, a block away at 900 Alice Street with this community where I learned to organize with Chinese immigrant garment workers. And I am so proud of the many organizations here today representing my community and my daughter's community, like Filipinos Advancing Justice and many, many organizations. Because this is a moment, despite the crisis and the pandemic, that we are coming together. We are showing our strength. We are showing that we will not be victims or invisible or the model minority as the API community. We are powerful. We are flexing our power. We are going to demand the resources, the investments that we need. And we are also going to stand in solidarity with other BIPOC communities because we know that our liberation is about collective liberation. It's not only about us, it's about our Black, Indigenous, Latinx communities, our immigrant and refugee communities, our LGBTQ communities, about all of us, because we are not about fighting each other. We are about fighting the systems that are broken and not serving us. And it's so beautiful. I rarely leave the house. I rarely wear double masks because we have to keep ourselves safe. But being here today was a reason to be outside, a reason to stand in solidarity together, a reason to say we will not be divided. We will unite because solidarity is everything right now. After getting rid of number 45, solidarity is everything. So let's focus on the systems and structures that have been oppressing our peoples. And when you see someone like me in City Hall, or another progressive council member or elected leader inside a building like City Hall, please work with us. Hold us accountable, because I am here to serve you. I am your voice, but I know that I will only be successful if you all keep organizing. So, and oh, look who's behind me. This woman literally has my back, Council Member Carol Fife. And there were other council members who were here. Just so you know, every elected official, I understand, was invited. The mayor, the city council, all the electeds were invited. You may not have seen Council Member Sheng Tao and Councilperson Dan Kalb also here. So please work with us because we will only do this together. And we are here, I am here to represent all of you. So thank you.
Nikki Bass 係Oakland個參議員，第3區嘅參議員，佢咧就管唐浮，代表唐浮嘅。我哋可以睇到佢同我哋分享就話，雖然我哋大家企喺度，我哋唔知道唔識得大家有好多時候，但我哋每一個人都有一個故事。佢先頭就分享同我哋就話，佢亦都俾人打劫過，佢唔單止俾人打劫過，佢亦都俾人性侵犯。佢所受到啲創傷。佢所受啲經歷好多時候我哋係唔知道嘅。作為一個菲律賓人，菲律賓嘅美國人，佢亦都經歷過好多我哋唔同種族上邊所經歷嘅嗰種挑戰啊同埋創傷。但係所以佢認為我哋要多啲，大家要參與我哋嘅從政，要多啲去互相幫助，多啲去爭取我哋需要嘅資源同我哋社區嘅資源。亦好重要一樣嘢就係我哋。好多時候你見到亞裔同非裔或者唔和啊咁，你可以睇下我哋另外一個參議員 Carol Fife， 佢一直都企喺佢隔離，企喺我哋嘅身邊，係支持我哋，係幫助我哋嘅社區嘅。所以呢個就係我哋點樣去大家一齊團結，先至有一齊嘅力量。
Thì bà nghị viên Nikki Bass mới nói rằng thường bà ít khi ra nhà tại vì cái dịch này bà muốn ở trong nhà để cho an toàn. Nhưng mà hôm nay á, vì cái vấn đề mà mình đang thấy bây giờ, cái sự bạo lực đối với cộng đồng gốc Á Châu của mình á, bà nói bà phải ra, bà phải đem những người nghị viên khác ra để cho tất cả mọi người thấy rằng mình làm chung với nhau. Thì cái thời gian này á, từ trước khi bà thành nghị viên á, bà nói rằng á, bà sẽ lo cho cộng đồng Việt Nam của mình. Thì hôm nay á, bà cũng tiếp tục lo cho cộng đồng của mình và tất cả cộng đồng gốc Á Châu và cộng đồng khác, cộng đồng Mỹ, gốc Phi Châu, cộng đồng Mỹ, gốc Latin, cộng đồng tất cả mọi người khác, di dân và những người tị nạn. Và bà nói trong cái thời gian này á, bà nói rằng mình đang đứng đây để cho mình có thể thấy rằng mình làm chung với nhau, mình có thể bảo vệ nhau nhiều hơn. Và từ cái đó bà nói chúc mừng năm mới tất cả mọi người, và một cái tháng để cho mình tiếp tục nể và tôn trọng nhau. Tại vì cái này cái tháng là của lịch sử của người Mỹ gốc Phi Châu luôn.
Okay, where's my OG Dorsey Nun at? From all of us and none. Oh, there you go. What's up, bro? All right, let's welcome my OG Dorsey Nun.
Ông Dorsey Nun là giám đốc của trung tâm.
Break it down for us, bro.
Hey, you know, one of the things I got to say is, you know, I got to give honor to Eddie. I really do, bro. And before I say another word about anything else, it was you who made me see the violence in the Asian community. Black on Asian violence. You know, I know about the people who took the tin cans over there in Bayview. I know about the person pushed off the bus. I know about the person that was robbed and had her home invaded in over there by Geneva Towers. If I hadn't met you, I wouldn't have seen, homie. I wouldn't have seen. So, like, thank you for opening my eyes. You know, so it's like anything else I say, I got to give you honor because you made me respect all human beings as human beings.
Ông nói rằng ông muốn là cảm ơn.
You know, we open.
Can I translate that?
Please.
It's just too much knowledge, you know. I can't remember it all. Ông nói từ khi ông gặp ông Eddie, ông mới biết rằng cộng đồng Á Châu của mình bị ảnh hưởng về cái sự bạo lực. Trước khi ông Eddie á, ông không có biết rằng là những cộng đồng khác bị kỳ thị luôn. Thì ông chỉ muốn lấy cái thời gian này để cho ông cảm ơn vì cái tình bạn á mà ông có thể hiểu cái sự đau đớn và sự bực bội và cái sự kỳ thị của trong cộng đồng Á Châu mình.
You know, I got an 80-year-old sister that's at home, and I'm a primary caregiver. So I really do respect elders. She walked me to kindergarten, and I'm in the process of walking her to the graveyard. I respect that. You know, I opened up a place over here in Oakland called the Freedom and Movement Center. You know, because sometimes we talk about we need to get to know each other. One of the first things I put in the building was the ancestral wall. You know, because like I think that we need to respect our elders to the degree that when they pass, we keep holding their memories alive. On that wall is Fred, who fought for against internment. He hangs on that wall. And he hangs on that wall with Malcolm. He hangs on that wall with Martin. He hangs on that wall with George Jackson. You know, I also got Yuri, who cradled Malcolm in his last dying breath. She was holding him. You know, so me getting there, putting them on the wall, is that, you know what? We become safer when our kids see my sister Joyce, who's 80 years old, as their ancestor. So maybe if I hang these people on the wall, they'll see your people as my ancestors too. So like, you know, that's what I came up here to say.
So Dorsey, so let's go out in all of us son, all of us are none style.
All right.
Set up the chant.
All of us! All of us! All of us!
None of us.
None of us.
Solid, bro.
Thank you, OG.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, man. Go ahead, Jen.
All right, everybody. Again, it's getting a little chilly, but our hearts are full, and we're wrapping up the program right now. And next we have our spectacular Zach Norris, ED of the Ella Baker Center. My brain is just going because it's just too much excitement. So please give Zach Norris a round of applause. Xin cho một tràng pháo tay cho ông Zach Norris, là giám đốc của trung tâm Ella Baker Center. Và ông sẽ nói vài lời để cho lên án cái sự mà bạo lực trong cộng đồng của mình.
This one's live.
Can you hear me now? All right. I'm just going to say we keep, and we keep, we keep, we keep, we keep, we keep, we keep, we keep. My parents were born in San Francisco. I was born in San Francisco. We moved to Oakland when I was a week old. I like to say it was a week too late because I love Oakland just that much. I love all of y'all just that much. And that's why I stand here with a heavy heart, because we keep us safe, y'all. And that means we got to hold each other accountable. And that doesn't just mean the folks who committed these terrible acts of violence. It means holding each other accountable to understanding the system that we are up against. Because when I was little, when I was coming up, we used to play this game. They called it musical chairs. And so you would walk around the chairs. Y'all know the game. You walk around the chairs until they pull one away. And you keep trying to walk around and walk around. They keep pulling the chairs away. And then you start kind of fighting with your neighbor or with your fellow student. And that's what white supremacy does to us, y'all. They pulling the chairs away and they got us fighting each other. And that's absolutely unacceptable, because we keep, and we can hold each other accountable. And that means holding each other in community. That's what restorative justice is about. That's what transformative justice is about. And we can do that. Because we know that hurt people, that's true. But also that healing people heal people. Right? Notice I didn't say healed people heal people. Because we are all in the process of healing, especially in these United States, under this system of white supremacy. But we will not let that system diminish our dignity nor our integrity. We will not let it diminish our solidarity for one another. We will work to get the resources we need, even in this pandemic, to make sure that folks have food on their table, that they have the health care that they need, and that we have the resources we need. And we will hold each other accountable. Each and every one of us is more than the worst mistake that we have made. Each and every one of us is more than the worst thing we have ever done. But you know what? This country, this city, this county can also be more than all of the dirt that it has done. If we make it so, if we hold each other accountable, we keep us safe. We keep. Ashe.
Thank you, Jack. 我想翻譯一下，佢想話向暴力幸存人同埋家人表示慰問。佢喺呢度咧就表示聲援我哋創造一個世界，仲有一個世界人民要承擔責任，但係我哋嘅社區亦都要承擔責任。我哋可以建立一個世界，喺呢個世界中，無論人民的權力或地位點樣，我哋都應該承擔呢個責任。但係我哋唔能夠讓白人主義嚟分解我哋、分解我哋、瓦解我哋。所以我哋一定要團結，要明白到，當佢哋削弱咗我哋嘅力量之外咧，佢哋先至係變咗個贏家，我哋都係輸家嚟嘅。所以喺呢一上邊係非常之重要。我哋當然，當我哋嘅長者、我哋受害人受到創傷嘅時候，我哋一定要企出嚟， 為佢哋伸張正義，為嗰啲犯罪嗰啲人受到懲罰。即係好似我犯咗罪，我受到懲罰，但係喺懲罰之間，我哋係咪要得到適當嘅資源，等我哋再能夠重新做人，唔去再做壞事呢？可唔可以重新出嚟為社區服務呢？可以嘅，所以呢一上邊我哋一定要做到。
Từ trưa đến bây giờ khi mình nói we keep us safe, cái đó nghĩa là gì? We keep us safe nghĩa là chúng ta bảo vệ nhau. So I'm trying to say, why do we keep saying we keep us safe? What is it? We keep us safe. And I love those words because it translates in every language. You know, nos cuidamos. Chúng ta bảo vệ nhau, chúng ta lo lắng cho nhau. Right? So ông Zach Norris mới nói rằng từ cái sự cộng đồng á, mình phải giải quyết những cái vấn đề mà ảnh hưởng cộng đồng của mình. Khi mình dùng cái cơ hội này á mà chia rẽ nhau, mình sẽ thua. Lúc nào cũng sẽ thua. Thì hôm nay mình đến á, để cho mình hàn gắn cộng đồng của mình mà mấy năm nay đã chia rẽ với nhau, và dùng cái cơ hội này á, lấy cái sức mạnh với cái tình thương của tất cả mọi người hôm nay á, để cho mình bảo vệ nhau. Okay. So on that note, up to now we've been, getting worked up, excited, and also holding the pain of those that, have been victims to these violences, gender-based violence, right? And now we would like to introduce Julia Liao from Asian Health Centers to present some comprehensive solutions that are community-based. Cả ngày hôm nay á, mình chia sẻ những cái câu chuyện buồn và những cái chuyện mà những trung tâm làm bây giờ để cho bảo vệ nhau. Thì bây giờ Jennifer muốn giới thiệu Julia Liao từ Asian Health Services để cho cô có thể giải thích những cái dịch vụ họ đang làm bây giờ để làm cho khu vực của mình, Chinatown và Little Saigon an ninh hơn. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Jen. Hey everyone, I'm so inspired today by all of you. So I'm going to just say a few words. I'm going to say unity, you say dignity. Okay? So, unity. 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 So, from Asian Health Services, we are a comprehensive community health clinic. We're just down the street. We've been serving 50,000 patients and our most vulnerable for 47 years. So I just want to give a nod. We've got our staff. We have providers here who've been on the front lines addressing this pandemic. They've been making sure that they get the dental, the mental, the medical services that they need, the critical support in 14 Asian languages. They've been dedicating their lives to make sure that our doors are open and making sure right now that vaccinations are getting into our community's arms. So please give it up for our frontline heroes. And so that's why it is so painful to see how our staff, who are the essential workers, our patients who we care for, have been attacked and they have been assaulted. And so this pain, this hurt, and this trauma, it has been really anguishing. And I have to say that this pain has been exacerbated by the COVID pandemic. That COVID pandemic has really exacerbated the inequities our communities are facing, and it has actually laid bare very much the API community's inequities where we are overlooked and we're ignored. So really, this is the time that we stand together with our families, with our elders, with our individuals, because everybody deserves to be safe, regardless of your income, regardless of your immigration status, regardless of your race or your language. And so today we stand here at Madison Park. Madison Park is a historic landmark where folks from our community, both young and old, have gathered, whether it's Tai Chi, whether it's recreation, but also for advocacy. Asian Health Services, we held our first public charge rally here to advocate for our immigrant community's rights and for their health rights and for their safety. And so today is a really landmark day because we are gathering here across racial lines, across African American, Latinx, indigenous, Asian communities. And so we must remember this moment because we have to remember that in anguish, there must be action. We call for actions, we call for policies that address the immediate needs for our public safety. And at the same time, we have to call for long-term, community-centered solutions that are rooted in what the underlying causes of violence are, but also in language and in culture, and that reflects all of us. So I think that in this moment, let's remember, this is a moment that we need to come together, all of us that need to come together. And so let this moment be the catalyst for us to work within and across our communities, across race and gender and culture. So thank you, everyone, and let's think about unity and dignity. Thank you.
Thank you, Julia. Julia 講佢係亞建社嘅副行政主任，咁佢Julia 咧佢就同我哋分享咗下，雖然佢哋係前線工作人員嗰啲幫助我哋嗰啲長者啊，幫助我哋社區喺亞建社度，但係佢哋都受到打擊，佢哋都有受到創傷，佢哋自己啲工作人員都有俾人哋打劫喺呢度覺得非常之唔安全，但係佢亦都好明確嘅表示就話，我哋需要多啲資源去投入我哋個社區度。另外咧，我哋亦都要好點樣去幫助我哋啲醫務人員啊，響幫助我哋社區，當佢哋治癒人哋嘅創傷嗰陣時候，我哋會點樣唔係單止講係集中喺我哋嘅亞裔，而係我哋響全部唔同嘅種族上邊社區嘅身上。所以好多謝亞建社一直為我哋社區嘅服務。
Để nói gọn, cô Julia Liao từ Asian Health Services nói, cho hơn 40 năm, cái trung tâm Asian Health Services đem những cái dịch vụ cho cộng đồng Mỹ gốc Á Châu. Và cái trung tâm đó rất là đau lòng thấy rằng mười mấy năm nay cộng đồng mình vẫn bị ảnh hưởng về cái sự bạo lực nhắm vào cái cộng đồng Mỹ gốc Á Châu của mình. Thì bà nói rằng hôm nay là cái thời gian mình nâng lên những cái đặc quyền của mình để cho bảo vệ nhau. Và tất cả chúng ta có trách nhiệm giúp trong vấn đề này. Tất cả chúng ta có vấn đề giúp trong chuyện này. Nghĩa rằng là ai mà chẳng muốn công lý. Cộng đồng nào cũng muốn công lý hết á. Nhưng mà mình phải dựa vào nhau để cho giúp nhau, để cho mình hàn gắn cộng đồng của mình và có công lý. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, everyone. So we do have a few solidarity videos that people can have access online. They can look at it. But right now, I do want to show a video where the Santa Cruz warrior, Jeremy Lin, he did a video, in responding some of the challenges that we're experiencing. Can we roll that video from Jeremy Lin?
Guys, this is Jeremy Lin of the Santa Cruz Warriors, and I'm currently in Orlando for some competitions. First off, it's been really heavy on my heart to see what's been going on with the violence, especially towards the Asian elderly. And one thing that I have seen that I'm so proud of is just how I've seen so many people rally together to defend the elderly. And that's something that to me is such a big part of Asian culture, is to respect our elders. And so seeing everybody band together is really, really cool. And racism to me is just something that we have to continue to fight. And I just want to encourage everybody that, and I don't want it to only be about Asians, although that obviously is so important to me, but I just really want to encourage everybody that across all racial lines that we continue to fight for equality and justice. And if you guys see anything or hear of anything, helpful information, you guys can always report it or go to stopaapihate.org. So thank you guys so much for this. Let's just continue to protect each other, love each other, serve each other, and to be a community. So I just want to say thank you to you guys, and I want to wish everybody a happy Lunar New Year.
Or are you going to translate that, Jen, a little bit?
Go ahead, I'll translate.
Oh, okay. So 林書豪係響Santa Cruz 金州勇士隊嘅，咁佢亦都同大家講話佢非常之沉迷於呢個暴力事件發生嘅時候咧，佢就非常之都覺得係傷心，尤其係針對亞洲老人的暴力行為。但係我哋已經見到一件令佢覺得驕傲嘅事情，係因為我哋大家可以團結一齊，係為保護我哋嘅老人。喺呢上邊咧，我哋見到亞洲文化嘅重要係點樣去尊重我哋嘅長輩，係呢度係我哋都係應該一齊去做嘅。咁另外佢就想講，如果大家遇到咩暴力嘅事情咧，或者喺仇視上邊嘅事情咧，你可以去上網或者喺其他個機構嗰度去反映，就喺Stop AAPI Hate STOPAAPIHATE.org。咁佢希望大家可以互相保護、互相彼此相愛、相互服務社區。咁多謝林思豪。
Hồi nãy đó là ông Jeremy Lin, ông đánh banh với đội Santa Cruz the Warriors, Santa Cruz Warriors. Và ông nói rằng hôm nay ông không có dịp đến để tham gia, nhưng ông làm cái video để cho mọi người biết rằng ông rất là cảm ơn cái sự hành động của tất cả mọi người đến hôm nay để cho làm chung với nhau, bảo vệ nhau. Và trong cái thời gian này á, ông nói rằng nếu mà có người nào bị ăn hiếp á, thì xin gọi API Stop Hate. Và ông nói rằng cái này không phải là cái vấn đề sự bạo lực đối với Á Châu không, nhưng mà những chuyện mà xảy ra với cộng đồng Á Châu cũng ảnh hưởng những người khác. Thì mình nên dùng cái thời gian này để cho hàn gắn một lần nữa những cái liên hệ của mình với nhau.
And as we closing out, it's like it's you and I, right?
You and I?
You and I, TY. I think that spells unity, right? And this is what we're about. It's about unity.
That's right.
And so, right now, look, I'm just going to keep it real, right? All eyes are on us right now. All of a sudden, right? The media, locally, nationally, internationally, like all eyes in Oakland, all eyes in San Francisco, all eyes on the violence that's happening. But when is it ever they put all eyes on the great things that we're doing in our community? What about all the organizations, even without resources, they step up trying to serve our people? What about those organizations? What about all eyes on the white supremacy and the structural racism that continue to divide and conquer us? What about that? So we're here together. It's just about how do we center our survivors of violence. When something happened to an elder or a community, regardless, we got to stand up and speak up, right? And we have to hold people accountable. Hey, look, man, if I messed up, I want people to check me about that, right? And so we need to check that, but we need to check the systems too, right? Because they're the one who pit us against each other. They're the one who's not giving us all the resources that we need. Look, if you don't know this, I'm going to share this little fact with you real quick, right? In national philanthropy, this is what I'm talking about, national philanthropy with trillions of dollars, 0.3% of its money goes to AAPI communities. 0.3, let me see, 0.3 does not have, I know I'm not fitting into the modern minority myth. My math is not that good, but I think it's less than 1%, right, of the dollars goes to our community. Why is that? So that's something that we need to challenge. So as we move forward, I just want to say this real quick, right, Jen? Tomorrow, there's going to be an action and a rally that is in supporting what's happening today, right, in San Francisco at 1 o'clock, Civic Center Plaza. We're going to hear some of the folks out in Frisco to talk about some of the challenges and solutions and talk about some of the solidarity work that they're doing, and then we can do it this cross-bay regionally. So it's not about, they take care of Frisco, we take care of Oakland. It's about how do we do it together regionally, statewide, nationally. That's what we're talking about.
That's right. That's right. Thank you, Eddie. UNITY.
That's right.
UNITY.
We need a party.
All right, we got a brother from Frisco out here repping and supporting. And I'm just going to translate what Eddie just said one more time. Là hôm nay mình đến hôm nay á, để cho không dùng sự kỳ thị để đối phó kỳ thị. Mình dùng cái tình yêu thương và cái sự đóng góp để cho hàn gắn cộng đồng chúng ta. Và buổi họp báo ngày hôm nay á, chứng tỏ là có nhiều cộng đồng lo cho cộng đồng của mình. Và bây giờ trong cái phút bây giờ tất cả nước đang nhìn Oakland. Tất cả thế giới đang nhìn Oakland. Tại sao? Tại họ hỏi tại sao cộng đồng Á Châu mình bị ăn hiếp như vậy? Tại sao không có ai bảo vệ mình? Nhưng mà Eddie nói rằng không có ai để ý tới cái chuyện cái cộng đồng mình làm chung với nhau. Không có ai thấy cái gốc rễ của sự tội phạm. Không có ai thấy là chính phủ của mình không có lo cho di dân. Thì Eddie vì tất cả mọi người đã nói chuyện hôm nay nói rằng mình phải chú ý không phải chỉ cái tội phạm, nhưng mình phải tìm cách để cho giải pháp và đầu tư trong những cái dịch vụ để cho giúp tất cả cộng đồng của mình. Rồi một lần nữa, mỗi người ở đây hôm nay á, đều có sự trách nhiệm để cho giải pháp cái sự bạo lực mà đang ảnh hưởng cộng đồng của người Mỹ gốc Á Châu. Và những người hôm nay tới hôm nay á, để cho hứa và làm chung với nhau á, để cho mình hàn gắn cộng đồng của mình. Thank you.
Thank you, Jen. So, we do want to ask everybody to, take care of yourselves, right? Continue to focus on your health. Let's overcome this pandemic together. But that doesn't mean that you can go support our small businesses, right? To show them love. That doesn't mean that you can just, give a helping hand to somebody in need, right? It doesn't mean that you can't just say, man, what's up, man? We're in this together, right? And so those are important things that we need to do. And it's more important for us to cultivate and continue to build relationship with the African American community, right? To let them know that, hey, we're here with you, right? Because, if you're safe, we're safe. If you're housed, we're housed, right? So it's not either or. It's not a zero-sum game, right? So we need to know that. So just real quick, for all my elders and for all my people, that who may not understand the English, I just want to say to our elders, like, 響我哋社區啲長輩都同人講，任何人受到創傷，我哋都應該企出嚟，為你哋嘅安全着想，為受害人爭取適當嘅資源，能夠康復，能夠治愈，係因為我哋有一個安全嘅社區，要靠全部大家啲力量，唔係個人嘅力量。我哋亦都唔應該俾人哋分壓我哋，用種族嚟分壓我哋，去分散我哋。咁樣我哋先至就算得到我哋嘅保障，人哋得唔到，其他社區其他種族得唔到佢哋嘅保障，對我哋嚟都唔係一個好嘅事情嚟嘅。所以喺呢個新嘅一年，我哋要好好地注意我哋嘅健康，要克服呢個疫情。咁希望我哋能夠繼續支持我哋嘅小生意，全部啲響唐人埠啊，響小西貢啊。喺唔同我哋亞裔社區嗰啲唔同嘅小生意，我哋都要支持佢哋。多謝大家。
And I also want to thank the people who have come here today to share their stories, right? The survivors of the incidents that we're seeing, that we hear you, we see you. Cho tất cả những người mà đến nói hôm nay để chia sẻ cái chuyện mà xảy ra với họ, mình đứng hôm nay để cho tỏ cái lòng thông cảm và hiểu biết và sẽ làm chung với nhau để cho mình không có cái chuyện đó xảy ra thêm. Và rất là khó và cảm ơn tất cả mọi người cho cái sự hy sinh để đến hôm nay, từ Alameda, từ San Francisco, từ tất cả vùng B và khắp nước đến để cho tham gia hôm nay. Và ngày mai á, sẽ có một cái buổi họp giống như hôm nay ở San Francisco. Người nào mà rảnh á, xin qua bên San Francisco. Thì bây giờ mình sẽ tiếp thúc và mong rằng mọi người ấy, đi qua bên phố Tàu hay qua bên Little Sài Gòn để cho ăn uống và nhớ rằng mình bảo vệ nhau.
All right, so we're going to finish up and closing out. I think what better way to finish out with the same chant that we started with, right?
Thì trưa nay mình nói rằng we keep us safe, nghĩa rằng chúng ta bảo vệ nhau. Thì bây giờ mình sẽ nói một lần nữa. We keep us safe. We keep
us safe.
We keep
us safe.
We keep
us safe.
We keep
us safe.
We keep
us safe.
We keep
us safe.
Happy Lunar New Year, everyone, and happy Black History Month. We keep us safe. We love one another. Thank you for all of the organizers. Alvina, what a wonderful drummer you are. Keep it going.
All right, let's do the drumming. Even though we don't have the firecrackers, we don't have the line, but we have our powerful women drummers.
Good afternoon. My name is Jackie Byers, and I'm the Executive Director of the Black Organizing Project. The Black Organizing Project is a community-based organization in Oakland committed to fighting for racial, economic, and social justice. We most recently won a campaign to remove police from schools and fight for Black sanctuary, which is a sentiment that promotes healing and love over punitive approaches. Our Black Sanctuary Pledge is an opportunity for all of us across community to stand for each other and with each other. It is with this sentiment of sanctuary that we approach this moment. Today, we are humbled to be here to send our love and support to the Asian community across the Bay, and especially here in Oakland. We are deeply saddened by the recent events and especially the attacks against elders. We understand what it is like to feel vulnerable and to grieve and to be angry. We understand the pain of being targeted and yet invisibilized. No one is safe unless all of us are safe. We pledge to walk in solidarity with your grandmothers and grandfathers, and we ask that we use this as an opportunity to really see each other, to build on what has been broken. This is not a time for division or reaction, but a time to imagine a new way forward. I have every confidence that our communities can continue to come together and build on the solidarity of Black and Asian liberation struggles that have been historic and critical here in Oakland and beyond. It won't be easy and it won't happen overnight, but we are not victims. We are strong. We are determined, and it is with the determination that Oakland will show the entire country how we move forward through these moments. Thank you to all who have organized this space. Thank you for your clarity and your leadership. Thank you for thinking about digging deeper into the roots of the conditions that bring us to these moments in the first place. It is by digging deeper that will allow us to reach our North Star. In solidarity, and God bless. Thank you from the Black Organizing Project.
Greetings. My name is Dr. Ayodele Nzinga, and I'm the founder of BAM CDC, an arts-based community development corporation dedicated to activating and stewarding the Black arts movement business district and deeply invested in equity for all people in Oakland. I'm proud of the work we've done side by side with the Chinatown Coalition in direct service to our communities. BAM CDC stands in solidarity with Little Saigon, Chinatown, and the entire API community. We stand with all marginalized populations and ask that we acknowledge our common histories, challenges, dreams, and aspirations for our communities. We want for one another what we seek for ourselves. As we welcome in the year of the metal ox, we do so with great respect for the determination and diligence required of those who rely most on their resilience to cultivate community well-being. In that spirit, we claim the right to be safe in our streets, in our homes, our communities, and in our businesses, because we know that none of us are safe unless all of us are safe. With a metal ox state of mind, we demand liberty, joy, and safety for all of us in abundance and without end. So be it.